What's up, guys? This is Bobby Douglas, and we are back today with another 2020 NBA Draft Prospect full video breakdown. And today we're looking at probably one of my favorite prospects in this class, and it's Vanderbilt wing Aaron Nesmith. Aaron Nesmith is 6'7", muscular, and his best attribute is by far his shooting. He shot an astounding 52.2% from a three this season, granted, and only in 14 games before he got hurt. But again, the 52.2% came on 8 attempts a game. That's at a very high volume, and he was just absolutely knocked down. He's a very good shooter on the move, off the catch, on the dribble. He's a little bit, less polished, but I do think he has the potential there. But again, this guy, in terms of just watching him play, watching him move off the ball and catch, and his footwork and everything like that, and then the release of his shot, it's very nice, very satisfying, I will say. So yeah, Nesmith is one of my favorite prospects in the draft. I have him at 13 in my big board, I believe. So right below James Wiseman and right above Denny Avdia. So yeah, this game is against Richmond, and this was probably one of the funnest games to watch. Of Nesmith, he had 34 points on 12 of 18 shooting and 7 of 11 from 3. He also chipped in 7 rebounds. He did have 4 turnovers, but overall it was a very fun game for Nesmith, and it was also a very fun game to watch in general. And Richmond won on a last-second free throw, 93-92 in overtime. So I'll have 3 videos regarding Nesmith today. I'll have the first half, second half, and then I'll have a shorter one covering overtime. So yeah, let's just get right into it right now, and I will make this full screen. So we got this. And yeah, here we go. So Nesmith is 24 in black. And he'll be in the corner right now. And again, he moves off the ball a lot. He'll come off screens. You saw right there. So he's got the ball now. So yeah. NBA also announced their draft plans for the 2020 season. They're going to have the lottery, I believe, on August 25th. And then the actual draft will be on October 15th. So that's around 4 months away from now. So my guess is that I'll probably have close to 100 prospects filmed and talked about on this channel. So make sure you stay tuned. You know, I am getting a little bit sick of just covering and looking at this draft just because we've been doing that since, let's see if he hits the shot. Wide open 3, missed it. Had a quieter first half. The second half, he really went off. But again, he has nice form, good touch, obviously. And again, I just think he's very fun to watch. But yeah, no, so the draft is on October 15th. I believe that's a Thursday. So yeah, we'll know a lot about these prospects by then. I believe the deadline for NCAA athletes to come back to school is August 3rd or 10 days after the NBA Draft Combine. There's no set date for the Combine yet, so we don't know. But by August 3rd at the latest, we'll have an update on who's staying in the draft and who's coming back to school. So yeah, so we got 24 Nesmith right here. So here we go. So he's going to and he's going to pop out right there. Again, Vanderbilt was really creative at using him on screens and on off-ball cutting and things like that. And again, he gets a lot of his shots on the move. See, he already shot another one, and that one's a brick. But again, quieter first half, second half, he really showed out. And again, this was only his 3rd game of the year, and last year he was only a 34% three-point shooter, which isn't bad, but nothing near what he showed this season. But yeah, he played 14 games. Yeah, there's a turnover. So one of the cons with Nesmith is that he really isn't, he's not very proficient off the dribble, and he's very reluctant to drive, I would say. So with a guy with his build, again, he's 6'6", he's long, he's athletic, he's muscular. You'd like to see him be more of a slasher and a knockdown shooter, but he's really playing more of a Landry Shamet or JJ Redick role, even though he's way more athletic and just more of a physical presence than either of those guys. So that's just something he needs to work on, I would say. But again, you're looking at 3 and D prospects. There are 3 of them that I really have above the rest, and those are Vassell, Nesmith, and Sadiq Bey, who I haven't done a video on yet, but I will. And again, it's kind of like Vassell is kind of the perfect, or excuse me, it's not Sadiq Bey, it's Nesmith, Vassell, and Isaac Okoro. And the way I look at it is that Vassell is probably the most well-rounded right now in terms of 3 and D. Or Okoro's the best defender out of the 3, and then Nesmith is obviously the best three-point shooter. So again, he's on the double right there, and nothing really happened there. The way Vanderbilt plays defense, they're basically a no-middle team, so Nesmith will be, if he's on the ball, he'll be forcing every single ball screen. he'll be forcing his man to basically reject every single ball screen. That's the goal. You don't want to have anybody drive middle if you're Vanderbilt on defense. So again, there's going to be a lot of icing of ball screens in this game and things like that. That's a pretty solid jump for that rebound. Again, he has the athleticism to kind of throw down on guys. He's had a lot of big dunks this year. I really do think he's one of the few guys in this draft where, outside of the top 4 maybe, where I'm like, okay, I could see this guy making a few All-Star games in his career. I know I have him 13th, and that's because I like some of the other guys better, but he's one of the guys where I definitely see the All-Star potential there. But yeah, so October 15th is the draft, so that's going to be very late. And then I think the season's going to start on December 1st is what they said, so it'll be an interesting 18 months, I guess, but it'll be fun. Let's see what we got here. So Nesmith is guarding Nick Sherrod, I believe. So the thing with Richmond is Richmond plays small. They play with 3 guards, and they're all really, really good. That was good job moving his feet and staying in front of Sherrod there. But so Richmond plays with Evan Gilliard, I'm trying to think of that third one. Nick Sherrod, and then another guard, Blake Francis. And they're all just really good shooters, really good players, and they're all NBA draft prospects in their own right. But they all are returning to school, I believe. So Richmond next year is going to be a really fun team to watch, I think. They were very fun to watch in this game, I will say. Good scramble right there from Nesmith. So he's got the ball right now. So let's see. So again, not really looking to attack on the perimeter. He's more of a straight-up three-point shooter. Again, and when he wants to dribble, like, he can dribble. Let's see what they do out of this horn set. So they got a kick out, Nesmith. So he split the double team, kind of clunky on that dribble, though. Let's see if Scottie Pippen Jr. hits a shot. No. So Nesmith, good contest right there. But yeah, another thing with Nesmith, he averaged just under an assist a game, which at 6'6", and I feel like that's really locking up part of his potential. I think if he could learn to just not have tunnel vision when driving the lane, if he could just, keep his head up, get a little bit more tighter with his handle. That's a charge, yeah. I think if he could become an average distributor, I really think he could be a very, very good player. He's already going to fill a very nice role in the NBA. You look at a team like the Pelicans, where they have Zion, they have Lonzo, they have Brandon Ingram. If you could add a shooter like Nesmith just running around screens, who's a better defender than JJ Redick, and has potential to be just as good of a shooter, I mean, that's going to be a very scary lineup in the future if, like, the Pelicans or some team like that can get him. See, again, that's a pretty good backdoor cut. He didn't follow all the way through with it. He only played 14 games before he broke his foot against Auburn. So it's a small sample size in terms of games, but remember, he shot 8 threes a game, and he was, again, 52% from the three-point line, which is just absurd. So that's just something to keep in mind. So yeah, so you see how he's closing out. He's closing out. He's basically forcing everyone towards the side and not playing anyone straight up. That's part of the Vanderbilt no-middle defense that Jerry Stackhouse runs there, and it's basically just trying to cut off all penetration into the middle, and then if there's a ball screen, you're trying to shut it down and make the player reject the screen, and it's a very aggressive style of defense, but it often leads to Nesmith looking like he's out of position or not really playing the ball right. But that's not really the case. He's just doing what his coach is asking him to do. And again, I believe he did a Mike Schmitz film session where he talked about this pretty much in depth. And, so it's just one of those things where maybe he looks out of position, but he's not really, given the scheme that Vanderbilt's running. Another thing, we'll skip through these free throws right here, but another thing I like about him is that he's a very smart kid. I think he had a 3.45 GPA coming into Vanderbilt. He obviously is going to Vanderbilt, which is a very, very good school. Oh, that's a really hard screen. Let's see how he gets back here. But again, if you watch his film session with Mike Schmitz, which I recommend you watch all of those film sessions because they're all really, really good. I mean, it jumps off, his intelligence jumps off the screen, really. Just when you're watching film, when he's watching film, he'll notice the feet of his defenders. He'll notice, oh, if my defender's feet are set up this way, that means I can attack the closeout. That means I can use a ball screen. That means I could do a backdoor cut. He's very good at noticing defender tendencies, and let's see what he does right there. See, that's a nice little turnaround jump hook from him. And again, I think he has more of that in his game than he showed at Vanderbilt. And it'll be up to whatever NBA team to really unlock that full potential. Because I really do think he's an all-star level player in terms of potential. But again, he just is very smart. He just knows like how to react based on the defense and how they're set up, which I thought was pretty rare that he would just be able to know that just very quickly. So that was pretty impressive in my opinion. Another good attack from Nesmith right there. We saw that. Again, he's not bad dribbling. He just doesn't do it very often. And again, he has the physicality to finish through contact, I think, even though he seemed averse to it at times at Vanderbilt. But again, it's really just... So he was late. I think he got called for a foul there. He was a little bit late on the closeout, a little bit slow-footed there. Did a nice job of recovering, but ultimately got called for the foul, it looked like. Let's play from here. So Nesmith is on weak side corner right now. It's a good no-look pass. Let's see what he does here. So, a nice little jab step. Again, he's very good with his feet in terms of off the catch. I think he can get his shot off pretty much anytime he wants to. On the move, he's a very good shooter, which is rare for a college player to be that proficient on the move. So, again, there are really a lot of things to like. There are a lot of advanced attributes that Nesmith has that I think a lot of the prospects in this draft class are pretty much lacking. Because when you look at NBA, they're looking at a lot of high IQ guys. Again, see how he's playing. I don't know who that is on Richmond, but again, he was playing him, basically trying to force him to the sideline and see. Yeah, good job staying in front of him there, though. Got another media timeout. Pretty fast first half, I will say. Not a lot of fouls, which is good. I like to see that. I'll just let it run. But again, it's a pretty free-flowing game. Again, it's 93-92 is the final, so we get a lot of scoring, which is nice. And again, in the second half, you'll see a lot more of Nesmith's highlights, and just in terms of shooting the ball, coming off of screens, catch and shoot, things like that. Because he has like one of the best halves I think I've seen in this series that I'm doing. So again, here he is coming off the screen. Let's see what he does here. Good shot fake, and he just lost the ball right there. But again, I'd like to see him be a little bit more comfortable on his drive. I mean, he's going to turn it over a lot. I think he has 4 turnovers in this game, and he averaged around 2 a game for the season. And again, a lot of those are just coming with just dribbling himself into trouble and things like that. And those are things that you could obviously work on. I think the next step in his development is definitely working on that handle, trying to be able to break guys down off the dribble, because I think he does have the speed and the athleticism to do so if he just gets a nice handle. I think he does have a lot of shake and wiggle to his game when he wants to. Just a matter of getting more consistent in those areas. And Nesmith is out here, so I will pause the video and I will skip ahead to, let's see, 17:55 Nesmith goes back in. So I'll skip ahead there. And he plays for about 4.5 minutes, and then he's out for the last 2:45, I believe, the second half, and then the first half, and then I'll stop this video and go to the second half. So right there, it looked like Vanderbilt was in a little bit of a zone. Good job getting that rebound. He wasn't in the best position, but he went up and got it. Here we go. Let's see if he knocks this one down. Good shot fake, clean release, bang, and he got the foul. Again, his form never changes. It's very consistent. You know, I buy him as a shooter, absolutely. So right there, good shot fake, just clean, bang. I believe he makes this free throw. He didn't have a good night shooting from the line, apparently. I feel like so often that's the case. It's if you're really hot from three, then the free throw line just seems to be your worst enemy. Good job knocking down that free throw. So he's at 8 points right now, and again, he finishes the game with 34. So he's still got a lot of scoring to do. Yeah, so Vanderbilt's on a 2-3, it looks like, or at least a 3-2. And Nesmith is playing at the bottom of that, so he drove right there. And again, he just needs to work on his instincts and just overall just looking more comfortable with the ball. I think that'll help him a lot. If he gets a better handle, I think he has every physical attribute that you would want. It's just a matter of just getting that handle down and just getting more reps in. And right there, he showed on Blake Francis, and then he ultimately didn't stay with him, leading to an open three. Again, that's a weird zone look that Vanderbilt's giving, so it's kind of hard to get back into a zone when you're in transition. But again, he probably should have stayed there and closed it out. So now Vandy's back into a man, it looks like. Good job. He read that pretty well. He got called for a foul. I don't know what the call was there, but he did a good job. He knew exactly where that pass was going. He just got there a little bit too late. But again, that was a good overall read from him, I think. Again, he is known as a guy who hustles, he works hard, things like that. So I do think his areas for improvement, I think he will ultimately improve. And like, if you're just looking for a guy who's going to fill a role early, I mean, honestly, you saw the role that Landry Shamet had in his first year as a Sixer and then a Clipper. He hit some really big shots in the playoffs for the Clippers last year, and he hit a lot of big shots this year for them. I think Nesmith comes in immediately and does that for a team. And then from there, I think he has more upside than Shamet, obviously. And then, so I just think he has a very high floor for what he's given. Let's see if he makes that three. He does not. Wide open three. Again, he's a lot more lethal in the second half, I would say. But he just is one of those prospects that has such a clear role in the NBA. And then he also has the potential to be so much more than what his projected role will be. Again, he's really good moving off the ball. See, you don't see a lot of shooters going for that type of rebound, Good job tagging the postman there. Just kind of a defensive breakdown from Vanderbilt as a whole. And Vanderbilt, you got to be pretty clear about this. Vanderbilt was not a good team this year. And given the talent that they have, they probably should have been a lot better. But again, it was Nesmith. They lose Nesmith about a third of the way into the season, and they just never really recovered after that. They weren't necessarily a good team with Nesmith, but they're definitely better. Good pass, getting it out of hands. And that's a pass to assist right there. So here's guarding. So you see how he's closing out on, he's forcing him left or to whatever side is the sideline. That's another example right there. So in the NBA, he'll be playing a lot more straight up defenses because NBA teams don't usually run these no middle types of schemes. So that's just something to look out for as well. We got free throws here, so there we go. 1-1 it looked like, so. So he's in the corner right there, and he probably should have gotten the ball right there. He was open for a kick out three. So again, here he is on the ball. Probably, yeah, that's a bad turn. Let's see if he hustles back here. Yeah, that's just one of those plays. If you're looking for a mid-major team to buy stock in early next year for college basketball, Richmond might be one of your teams. They're going to be really good next year. See right there again, he got called for, he drew a foul there, it looked like. But again, he needs to be stronger with the ball when driving because he has a pretty good first step, and especially if he's going to be a knockdown shooter in the NBA, the shot fake's going to be lethal for him. He's going to have such an advantage over perimeter defenders that he's going to have no trouble getting into the lane. Once he gets there, though, he needs to be a lot more comfortable with the ball in his hand so he can finish or get to the point where he has an opportunity to finish at least. So Nesmith goes out here, and then I don't think he comes back in for the rest of the half. So I'll end the video here. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. And then I will upload the second half video, and then along with the overtime video. Remember, 3 new videos today. So just be on the lookout for that, and we will see you tomorrow. Or see you for second half.